Hello and welcome to Unstuck. My name is Andri Søren and I'm a photographer and a musician. This vlog is all about the invisible things that go on around the life of a creative person. And the reason I want to talk about those things is because I have this strong impression that there's a lot of stuff which goes on in our lives which we either don't talk about or are not really discussed that publicly because sometimes they're also quite difficult to deal with. So I'm talking about mental blocks, like writer's block for basically anybody who's creative, as well as all of the other psychological and motivational things that can sometimes get in our way, basically. So the aim of this video and all the others is to get unstuck. Today's video is an interesting one because I've made 5 of these videos so far, and it's already been quite an interesting experience and quite a challenge. But I woke up this morning and today is Tuesday, my vlog date, YouTube Tuesday. And I thought to myself, I really wonder if I feel like making a video today. And this was something of a disturbing thought because I thought I'd cracked it. I thought I'd come up with a sort of formula or a rhythm whereby I'd be able to put these videos out and still be happy doing them. But I had this funny feeling like I needed to ask myself a few questions before I continued. And what also occurred to me is that I quit my job as an architect 6 years ago, and that was because somehow the work I was doing there didn't fit with my personality, let's say, or for one reason or another, it didn't make me happy. I didn't want to go to work. So I thought to myself, well, there's no point coming up with stuff that makes me feel the same way. That's exactly what I've been trying to avoid. So I got a piece of paper and I made a list of the reasons I'm making these videos to try to understand and just have a kind of check-in with myself. Does this still make sense? Should I continue? Maybe I should even stop. These are the kind of questions I try to ask myself more regularly these days to not put too much time into something that doesn't make any sense. So here's the list. Number 1, the invisible stuff that accompanies being a creative person. There is so much stuff to talk about, and I have a really, really long list of just the things which have struck me over the years. This is the main reason. I mean, that's something I enjoy talking about, something I've been talking about in classrooms where I teach Ableton Live or music production or various other things. In those classes and in schools and in lots of YouTube tutorials, there's a lot of discussion about how to do something, how to use this hardware, how to use that software, how to connect stuff up, but very little about what does it feel like? Why are you doing it? Is it normal that it feels this way? And that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about. And after 5 years of teaching, I would actually like to reach people outside of the classrooms I have. That's been an amazing experience, but I'm really curious to see if I make videos like these, will they resonate with anybody else out there? Can I make something that can be watched by people who are not able to sign up for these classes, or just give back something to a community which has already given me so much? And by that, I mean all the other people out there on YouTube and on social media sharing the things that they've learned. I also think, and I've noticed that by sending out kind of good vibes, good stuff, good karma, sometimes, well, not always, sometimes, actually always, things come back. Good things come back from that. They're usually unexpected, and I hope it's the same with these videos. The other reason is I want to do it for myself. I want to set myself a target and achieve it and make it quite limited in its focus and just get it done, because it's so easy to not get these things done. So it's a personal choice. It's a personal battle that I have to fight. I also have this little hope that it could create maybe some kind of small passive income for me. I remember the first time I got I think it was 5 cents for making a video, and then while I was asleep, somebody watched an advert, and I woke up. Well, a lot of people watched an advert, even just for 5 cents. And I woke up and I was like, wow, like I was asleep and I earned some money. That is very interesting. Now, we all know the discussions about how much we are remunerated on YouTube and other platforms. It's super low, but I'm still interested. And these days, thanks to the ads that you guys watch on YouTube, for example, I can almost buy myself a coffee, let's say an espresso, each day. So I'm interested to see if I can create something which kind of ticks along in the background and maybe buys me a coffee and a croissant or something, or a bagel or whatever. I also have this idea that perhaps I can take all of those ideas and put them into something else, into a podcast or a book or something where I coordinate all of these thoughts that I've thrown out into the digital ether. And lastly, I told myself the reason I quit taking part in the, basically, how can I put it, the interests of others. So by that, I mean working for somebody else. And by just working for myself, I started out on a path whereby I'm trying to create a future for myself, whereby I can pay the bills, I can do what I want. And the only way of doing that is to ensure that you keep working on that future and you keep making it viable and enjoyable. And that's maybe the bottom line of making these videos. So after making this list, I thought to myself, that's not a bad list. I wasn't feeling really great about making a video today, but if I think about all those things and remind myself of the context of why I even started this, which is not that long ago, but it's amazing how you do need to just now and then check in with yourself and see, wait, does this still make sense? I thought, all right, okay, let's make a video. And then I thought, what shall I make a video about today then? I mean, try to find something that actually chimes with how I feel. And I thought, well, this is the topic. This is exactly the thing I should talk about. This is what I'm thinking about right now. This is what I've got some energy to talk about right now and think about. And so here we are. It also connects back to this thing I learned from my parents, who are both musicians, who taught me to play the violin and the piano, is that sometimes you have to just work away at something, and there's going to be plenty of moments of frustration or asking yourself why on earth you're doing something. And sometimes you got to go through a few of those before you get to the beautiful moment of realizing why all that hard work was worth it. So I'm hoping this is part of that. But I also thought it might be interesting to let you guys know what I'm thinking and what it's like to do this stuff. Because, again, so many videos that I've watched anyway say like, yeah, how do you do this? How do you do that? And very few like, okay, so this is not so easy, guys and girls. So yeah, I'm hoping it's interesting in that sense. And if I've learned anything, is that telling the story of what you do is as important as showing people what it is that you do. And by that, I mean, it's fine and well to make music and say, hey, check out my music. But a lot of people, as much as they like the music, would probably quite like to hear what it's like to be going through that process and why and how are you feeling and so on. So yeah, I'm hoping this fits into that category as well. Finally, I have loved teaching Ableton Live. I've taught so many people now. I don't know if it's in the thousands, but it's definitely in the high hundreds. And that's been really cool. And I've grown so much thanks to that. And just interacting with people is an extraordinary thing. And you learn so much about, well, everything basically. But right now, something else calls me. I have this energy right now to talk about all of the stuff which exists around being an independent artist or a self-employed person. And I'm not going to stop making Ableton tutorials. I am going to come back to those for sure, because there's so much to talk about since I started teaching. But I really want to harness this energy I have right now, which, like I say, involves all of the invisible stuff that surrounds just being a creative person and, you know, the struggle, basically. So, in conclusion, basically, there's just a few things to say. I asked myself this morning why I'm making these videos. Here I'm trying to give you an explanation why, in the hope that that's part of a story which might hopefully either be interesting or perhaps connect with people who don't just watch my music. So in conclusion, I got up this morning and I thought to myself, I'm not so sure I want to make a video. I asked myself some questions and here we are with a video about exactly that. So I'm hoping that's interesting. It's part of the story I have to tell, and I think telling a story is a really important thing. All the podcasts I've listened to lately have told so many interesting stories, and I realized connecting topics and things that might be universal to things which are very personal and individual is a really powerful way of just getting information across, and is very true in a sense. So that's what I've decided to do with these videos. And furthermore, it's just nice to be positive and to try and share that with people who might not be there all the time. And I've benefited so much from a lot of great energy out there in both videos and in the kind of offline world, that I believe it's something nice to do for that reason. And most of all, I guess it's just interesting to see what comes. Just do something, throw it out there, see what sticks, see if you enjoy it, see if I enjoy doing this video, and move on. I hope this has been interesting. I would really like to hear from you if it has been or not. This kind of feedback helps so much for me to get some energy to continue and to either maybe add some things or change some things. I know I'm very verbose and I talk a lot sometimes. I'm really trying to keep these videos short. But like I say, it gives me so much fuel and energy to keep going if I just have one or two comments saying that it was something good or something interesting. Thank you for watching. Do check out my podcast, which is also called Unstuck. Currently on hold. This is the first season and I'm hoping to get to the second season. And go get yourself unstuck. Ciao for now.